Wow, hello, guys. It's September 9, 2020. You are watching me, Nikki, also known as Spaces Trader, here in Awesome10X Live. It's September 9, and I was surprised that somebody gave me some chat time. But chat time didn't pay for this. It was a friend who gave me some chat time. Thank you for the milk tea. But this is a plug, maybe. For those who want to send me some drink requests, I will also like drink it for you. But anyway, don't make me fat. But let us discuss the global market updates today. Let's see. The Nasdaq has been tanking, and a lot of people are running for their lives. Nasdaq rallied to 12,349. The first Fibonacci support is at 11,000. And if we go lower, we have a support at 10,000 and even lower here at about 9,500. Now, a typical breakneck bull market move like Nasdaq will not be a straight line. In fact, if you assume that this move will never have a correction, you are not thinking in probabilities. Now, what's the probability that Nasdaq will bounce from 11,000 or at 10,000 or at 9,500? Well, let's discuss. What I could say to you is that leaders will bounce the first, and then the laggards will not bounce even at this 50% Fibonacci. What I'm saying is that the leaders are the very first to carry on. Example of a leader that I want to share is that, okay, so while the Nasdaq was falling down, what's been happening on some of our picks? So did they fall? Actually, they didn't even fall. They even went all-time highs. This is your Graph Industrial. Graph Industrial, also known as Velodyne LiDAR, which will be present in all the electric vehicles someday, is really something important that everyone is looking forward to, especially the Awesome10X crowd. So Graph, we've been buying 18, 16, 14, 16, 18. Some of us sold at 24, 25, but we are keeping the rest until it goes to 35 or 40 with the attention to buy more if it goes to 21. So assuming we sold partially here, we will buy it back if it falls 21, 22, or even at 19 again. Will this fall? I don't know, but I see a leader like this can continue higher. And true enough, I don't plan to sell all my positions. And if you can notice, the people who got in at 14, this is 100% move 14 to 29 at a time when Nasdaq is crashing down. Now, what's happening in your Nasdaq? But let's take a look first on some leaders, no? Your FMTI, which is also a SPAC, look at it, 14, 15, 16. We added even at as high as 17.7 and 17.5. It's trading at 23. Those who got shaken out, they were never believers in Tattooed Chef anyway. Forum merger is Tattooed Chef. Indeed, we are seeing the plant-based is a trend. And so any drops of forum merger back below 20, let's say it falls to 18 or 20, this would have a lot of buyers. True enough, I don't cover all the SPACs. This is a SPAC that I didn't buy. It went from about 20, now it's at 53. Indeed, some Robin Hoodies probably got some tortoise acquisition or Hillian. This is going to be Hillian, so congratulations to them. Congrats. It's you have a well-deserving win. These are some well-deserving wins. Workhorse. So Workhorse, I felt that at about 16, 17, 18, this was a buy. I bought actually, but during the last few days, I sold partially at 19. Sorry, not partial. I sold at 19 all of my stake. I wasn't a true believer of Workhorse. Yesterday, it went as high as 22. That was an all-time high. I'd say that Workhorse, if it falls near 17, would be bought. So indeed, there's a lot of contracts for Workhorse in terms of USPS. Now, I'm not always correct, but I'd say to you that Canadian Solar is a company pick that we liked. And this is a pullback, 34 down to about 30. Your Nasdaq has fallen. But I'd say that even if Nasdaq goes down, even if it takes Canadian Solar down to as low as 26, I'll be happy to buy more positions of Canadian Solar. Now, assuming that you aren't busog. Busog means busog in English is full. If you're not full size on your Canadian Solar, you can buy even as high as 29. with another buy at 26. So some of us got in 22, 24. I actually stopped at 24.5, but I'm willing to buy as high as 30 now, and with leeway to buy at 26. So I think 30 to 26 is good. So Canadian Solar is long-term move for an electric vehicle future. Of course, you cannot run your Teslas or your electric vehicles without a solar home. So it's quite practical for all of the residential, not just in US, but around the world, to actually have some Canadian Solar. Yes, this is also a strong breakout at 24. So in fact, when you look at the weekly for Canadian Solar, let's take a look at Canadian Solar's weekly. This has the leeway to go to as high as 35 and 37. So in the short term, those are going to be your resistances. At 34, 35, 38, you'll be seeing some selling pressure there. But I'd say that there's also a lot of buyers at 24. So it's really, you could see that the market at Nasdaq from 12,000 to 10,000, if we rally tonight, 11,000 to 12,000, you'd see some selling. If we go down tonight, Nasdaq 11,000 to go 10,000, you would still see a lot of buyers. Now, what are the kinds of companies that you should be buying? Of course, you should be buying leaders and leaders only, winners only. If you've been buying C Limited as low as 40, 60, 80, 100, you even bought some C Limited at about 112 prior to the earnings call, or you've probably been buying now, even at 148 after the earnings, and even buying now at 138, I'd say that even if C Limited falls down, do you know how winners do not get dumped? They actually get bought on dips. So this is the winners, like a C Limited. A C Limited, in my view, so from 160 short-term top, has a lot of support here at 132. If that fails, it's got a lot of support here at 111. So I do believe that there will be some selling pressure at 145 and 159. So you have to trade this. The high prices can be traded. Assuming you've got 110 and 138, you can sell partially at 145 and sell partially at 160. Those who got in here lower should just hold on to their shares for life. Now you might say, but Nikki, I'm just starting my C Limited position. I don't even have that low level. It's okay. You might be happy that the crash is happening. If the Nasdaq fell, you might be able to buy some C Limited as low as 95. It is very important to be not a predictor of rain, but to prepare for the arc. We said this quite a lot of times. I always say this, it's not important to predict the rain. It's more important to prepare the ark, like Noah's ark. Noah's ark didn't predict the rain. God said that it will rain, and so he made the ark because God said that you have to build ark. That was Noah. Be like Noah. Some people said that if the market is raining, only the person without an umbrella is complaining. So a few days ago, we actually said that even at Nasdaq 11,000. It was stoppish. Even at Nasdaq 12,000, it was stoppish. But take a look that some of our company picks like C Limited continue to grow. So June, the market was where? Take a look. C Limited versus Nasdaq. The Nasdaq went only 10 to 12,000 and the Nasdaq is now 11,000. So the Nasdaq is just up 10% from about June. Here, around the 9,500 to 11,000, the Nasdaq is just up 11%, but our picks were up 50%, 100%, diba? So the reality is, I'm buying some winners like Zoom Video. Zoom Video is, of course, a winner. If you sold somewhere at about 280, June, July, even at August, and then you didn't hold until the earnings, you missed out a 100% move, 200 to 400, right? It was trading at 230. It went as high as 460. That is a 100% move. Now, after a 100% quick move, we did say that Zoom Video had leeway to go down. So at 350, you want to enter now. At 330 or 300, you want to enter again. So if you erroneously sold your Zoom Video, which we really did, I tell you, I'm not perfect. I erroneously sold some Zoom videos, and I was wrong. Selling it at 240, 250 is wrong. And of course, it went 400. So I don't want to stay wrong by being out of Zoom video forever. This is a great time for me to buy back, even if it's 50% higher. Can you imagine if you sold 240 and you're buying 350? Because that's what winners does, guys. You dump a winner, they'll say that, okay, you can buy me back 50% higher. So I'll be happy if Zoom video even dumps to about 250 so that I can buy it back again. I do know that Zoom video will not go down to 150 or even at 180. That is me being short-term greedy, trying to buy a winner. You know, you can't buy Michael Jordan cheap. And Zoom video is the Michael Jordan of the pandemic. And I don't believe that to be to change even after the reopening. And for the reopening picks, let me discuss a few things. GameStop. The truth is, GameStop is not really a reopening pick. GameStop is a value laggard play for me. Like Michael Burry, who was buying it at 4 and 6, I truly believe that GameStop has grown their digital sales. Of course, the Sony PlayStation 5, the holiday hardware sales has also been good. If you take a look at the earnings of GameStop, it's been doing well. 1,400% increase in the e-commerce. Yes, you heard me right. 1,400% increase. And what is this for chartists? You know this. This was a breakout at 6. This is a flag at 7.7. Even if GameStop goes down at 7 or even at 6, back to the breakout point, I'll be a willing buyer there. So from 6 to 8, I'll be buying with an average cost of about 7 if I can. Indeed, some of us even got this at about 4.70 and 4 pesos, $4, because we have been looking at GameStop ever since Michael Burry has been accumulating it at 330 areas last year, since 2019. Indeed, you could see this is 2019. Michael Burry was buying it 330, $4, any price there, he was buying it. A lot of things that I'm also taking a look at. Let's take a look at liquidity, LQDT. So with people having a lot of problems and having bankruptcy liquidation all over, what's the suggested way to buy into that? Liquidity services helps the people who are stuck with some old kitchenware or some businesses that had to shut down. LQDT helps the people, and actually, if you notice, 560 all the way to $4 has tremendous insider buying. So what's happening? Take a note. When the market was collapsing, did liquidity services go down? No. In fact, this is a higher low, 566, 750. If you don't have LQDT, buy at 750 all the way to $6. These are going to outperform in the next few months or even a year from now. So take note, why am I discussing some cyclical names like this? Liquidity services really makes a ton of money during crisis. How do we know this? Let's take a look at liquidity during the financial crisis of the USA. How do we know this? Let's take a look at the month on month. Okay, liquidity, take a look at the months. So liquidity used to go from about 750 to as high as 60. That was the financial crisis of year 2008. So, and then of course, it's a cyclical name. So now at about 750, what's the target? I think that you can hit at least 10 or $20. So the key to making money, guys, is time in the market, but also time, patience, and knowing what winners are. If you don't know the winner, you can always listen to Awesome10X. Awesome10X is a daily update. And I don't mind sharing to you winners. I'll share to you a few winners in the reopening theme, guys. Reopening themes like supermarkets, right? So Target has done so well in their earnings, and they have been even doing more than well. I'd say that they've done more than well during the COVID pandemic. They have been downplaying themselves. Take note that from 135, it went to 150. Any drops of Target back to 140 is actually a chance, or even at 135 is actually a chance to buy Target if you didn't buy Target at 120. Take note that during June, Target was just 120. Of course, it rallied to 150. If it falls to about 140 below, I'd say Target is going to do well. Now, what did Target do that made me like them again and reiterate buy? So if you bought it at 150, it's now 140, or how much is it now? 144? Don't be scared. So Target has been doubling down on groceries, from meatless burgers to jalapeno avocado hummus. The big box chain is adding hundreds of new food and beverage products to its Good and Gather private label brand this month. Target saw a 20% jump in Q2 year-over-year grocery sales and a 30% jump in grocery sales under its store brands, specifically according to CNBC. Groceries are now contributing 20% of their overall revenues compared to 56% for Walmart, and with its direct-to-consumer inspired branding, it has a competitive advantage over the rivals that are large. Food and beverage category is a room to grow. So as you could see, I believe in companies that are growing, and the Target is nowhere in the expensive zone if I study it carefully, fundamentally. This is why actually last year I've invested in Kroger 21. Even before Warren Buffett invested. It was happy on my end that Warren Buffett finally bought Kroger at 26. I think Kroger right now is trading at 35. Let me see how much Kroger right now is. Unfortunately, I had to sell some Kroger because I had to buy other names. It's now 35, 34.60, yes. So we've been buying Kroger at about 21, 22, 23 last year. There, July 2019. At about 26, 28, it was disclosed that Warren Buffett bought some Kroger. Some of the reopening themes that I truly believe in are some IPOs that are coming out. I want to share to everyone. I don't mind sharing our winners. Airbnb IPO is something that I'm interested to look at. And buy, depending on the price. But depending on price, I'm willing to buy that. Of course, in my reopening theme, I have Disney. Disney is now trading at 134, 133 ba. We said that Disney at 127 all the way to 115 can be bought. So yeah, here and here that were buys. At 134, I think it can go to 140 in the short term. But in the long term, I think that this goes 200, 300, 500. So I'm very much a long-term player. In fact, in this sell-off, I also bought some Beyond Meat. I forgot to share, by the way. Beyond Meat had a great news. Beyond Meat is going to China. So Beyond Meat is making a production line factory. So yesterday, this 125, 126, I think that was a buy. So we bought some more. And then I think that it goes to 160. That is the first resistance. Of course, some people might sell their Beyond Meat even at 150. But long term, I think like take note, Beyond Meat from June till September didn't move. So just choose your horses very selectively. Not every name should be sold. Why do I like Beyond Meat? Let's take a look at the news of Beyond Meat. Let's read that for you. We've got a lot of my winners. I'm sharing it. I don't mind. But if you want to learn more, all of these are available in Awesome10X, wherein I discuss Beyond Meat in depth for you to understand whether you want to buy it for the long term. So why did Beyond Meat jump 7% in a market selling off? So of course, the answer is that it's a leader. That is a quick answer, and winners win. But if you want like an in-depth understanding why Beyond Meat is a winner, not just for the day, but also for the time being, for the next 3 to 6 months, let us read this together. Beyond Meat is a plant-based food leader. This is the Tesla of Beyond Meat for those who are Tesla of plant-based, if you're not aware. Potentially massive new market. Okay, the meat alternative company is having a building, cutting-edge production facility in China. This is a subsidiary, Chashing Food. They're gonna build a new plant-based food manufacturing facility near Shanghai. Experts in the food industry, proximity to Shanghai, excellent logistics and people capabilities. They are the perfect partner and location for our ambitious plans for China market. That is what General Manager for Beyond Meat said in China. So Beyond Meat said its initial product run begin in the coming months, plans to ramp up to full-scale production by early next year. So of course, China is 1.4 billion people. In this expansion, is one of the world's largest markets for animal meat products, especially for plant-based products. So the survey says that Beyond Meat are seeing a lot of sales, rising protein sales. Of course, the earnings of Beyond Meat has also done well. In fact, we have been promoting Beyond Meat 63, 69 last year. We sold a little, 150, 200, buy it back again, 78 to about selling some at 120, then buying back 125, 130. Even if Beyond Meat goes down to $100, I will never be scared. So I allocate, I diversify to secular trends. Zach is asking, what are your top 5 technical indicators? I am aware of the index. I am using some Fibonacci support resistance, but technicals will not save you. Technicals will not give you outstanding returns. My outstanding returns comes from understanding technicals, but also fundamentals of the companies I know. So as you know, Nasdaq went up and down. And I know that when Nasdaq goes down, definitely Facebook will fall. But if Nasdaq goes down 10% tonight, I'm not scared. Like Facebook 250, give it to me. I'll buy it. 250 to 220, buy it again. Even if I have it at 270 or at 290, that is the way that investors who win. I've been buying Facebook ever since 98. In fact, it was very memorable for me because Facebook was a 5-year hold for me. It was a very small stake. In fact, it was my dad who convinced me that, Nikki, you're doing well in your Facebooks, your Microsofts, that you should consider focusing more of your time in USA because that's where you're making money anyway. So I try to make money in leaders. And we're talking about global leaders, not just US leaders. Facebook's business is global. I love the Facebook Virtual Connect that's coming out on September 16, the future for Oculus VR, the e-commerce integration inside Instagram, and with Shopify. So you have to know what you buy. Rather than technical indicators, technical just helps me, okay, I can probably buy if Nasdaq goes down 10,000. What's my downside? But what's my upside? 20% crash versus 200% reward. Do you understand why I'm a bull on some names, no matter what? Now, there's a question. How much charge should we try? Brokers will charge about $23 deduction. So actually, it's not Interactive Brokers who charges that. It's the bank. So it could be Citibank or JP Morgan, the one that receives the dollars in the counterparty. What is the upside of global stocks compared to Philippine stock market? Should I shift all my PSE stocks to global market? I'll tell you what. I think like in the Philippines currently, if you look at the long-term time frame, you can probably make about 100% in Philippine stock market if you wait about 3 to 5 years. But the beautiful thing about global stock markets, I think that there are companies that you can make 300%, 500%, 1,000%. So in terms of effort to reward ratio, the global markets are undeniably the better option if you only had one choice. But of course, it's about buy what you know. If you know Cebu Pacific so much in the Philippines and you want to invest in Cebu Pacific, Jollibee, of course, you'll double your money someday, right? But if you want to invest, let's say, what if Tesla fell to $200? Of course, you're going to make money there, guys. If it fell, diba? Just in case. So, or let's say, like as you know, I like Graph. If Graph fell $20, of course you're gonna make money there. If Serens fell down, of course you're gonna make money there. If Canadian Solar went down, of course you're gonna make money there. So I think that knowledge is power, and investing globally. I prefer that you invest worldwide because you're investing in the best companies in the world. Spotify 240, even it goes 200, I think it's great. IBKR, is not user friendly. Is it hard to sell? I'm not a trader, but I could sell, no problem. Did you sell massively at the beginning of COVID? I want to know what's it like during a black swan. During the COVID time, I had some cash, but I also had positions. So I saw my Roku go from 100 all the way to 58. I bought at 65 and 85. I sold some Roku at 120. I got hurt, but I also made more than enough to all my losses. So my drawdowns had, even as a diversified portfolio, when the market tanked, I saw some positions of mine fall 30-40% down. Some I had to really unload because I had some restaurants. So I sold some Yum Chinas. I sold some, but actually right now Yum China is at all-time high. But I replaced it. So I replaced naman with some good companies that made 50%, 100%. So in a sell-off, guys, what I do is I make sure that I hold my high-quality names. I don't sell my high quality. So I got, of course, Zoom Video during the COVID time, February, and I held on to it. I got 80, 88. Zoom Video went as high as 240. I got some Zoom Video at 135. unfortunately, I didn't hold my Zoom video as high as $450. So yun. I made some I made some really good moves. Like I had like 300%, 500% moves, right? So even if I lost about 25%, I lost some money in Luck and Coffee, which was a fraud. Overall, the portfolio still did better. I think. Yeah. So I don't I don't get I don't I'm never scared. In fact, I'm very happy with crashes. I bought some JD26. Now it's about $80. So I don't need to sell all my stake. I repeat, when I'm bearish, I'm about 70% invested. Which means I have 30% cash. When I'm super bearish, I have about 50% or 30% invested. That means I'm 50% cash. If I'm bullish, I'm 100% invested. If I'm super bullish, I am margin, guys. I'm like 150 to 170% invested if I'm bullish. So right now, I'm in the bearish camp, but I'm not super bearish. So I have cash. If the market fell, I will be happy. I'll be buying it. I'll be buying actually. If I have $2,000, how many global stocks should I buy? Is it enough money to earn more than Philippine stock market? Well, here's the thing. In the Philippine market, $2,000 is 100,000 pesos. You can probably buy about $200 each or 10,000 each. 10,000 pesos each. But I think like if you notice, in the Philippine market, they charge you 0.25%. So your 10,000 pesos, they will charge you, the minimum charge in some is about, some charge on 150 pesos minimum, diba? So that's 1.5%. Versus in US, $200 worth of Facebook, they'll charge me just $1 fee. So think about it. Do you want to buy $200 worth of Facebook, or do you want to buy $200 of Ayala Land? Actually, Ayala Land will also go up. But that's really what you have to think, like opportunity cost. Am I missing out the opportunity to invest in Spotify, Zoom Video, Beyond Meat, because I'm invested in some? So I think like you have to invest globally. Honestly, I'm not gonna always be right. That's why I diversify. I have some Philippines, but I'll tell you what, I make more money USA. So to the point that US is 80% of the portfolio, Philippines is just 20%. In fact, I have some friends who went zero Philippines, 100% US, because they said at the end of the day, if they want to invest in the best are global. The best are global. So what can they do? If the best companies are in the world, they don't want to invest in the Philippines. So I don't mind not investing in the Philippines. That's the truth. That's it. Okay. So you can invest worldwide. Like you can invest in London, in Paris. That's what I like about interactive brokers. So I'm not really trying to trade. I'm there for the decades, not the days. So making 100% in a month is good for graph, but what's gonna happen in the next 10 years? Will I make 500% or 1,000% in graph? Try to think of it that way, and you'll realize that the future is wonderful. Graph is LiDAR. All the cars will have LiDAR technology to be safe. So that's it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.